Hi guys, welcome back to the channel, or welcome if you're new here. Thank you for joining me today. So what we're going to be doing today is something a bit different. We're going to be doing, as the title suggests, I'm going to be showing you my perfect palettes for spring, or ideal palettes for spring. I haven't decided what title it's going to be at this point, but there's some in this basket here next to me, and then there's some elsewhere. I really didn't know how many palettes I had, but when I think of spring, I think of straight up pastels. So let's get into it. We've got the Disney and Alice in Wonderland palette that my friend sent to me. I've not had this one that long, so it looks like that. And then inside, it looks like that. Very, very pretty for spring. Just going to put them here. Then we've got another Colourpop one. It's the Lizzie McGuire palette. This is very, very spring in my opinion. Some of these palettes can be doubled up spring/summer. So I remember when I first got this, I didn't really like the front of this palette. I always thought, well, could they not have done it like that? But instead they put What Dreams Are Made Of here and like loads of flowers. I'm like, don't really like it, but I like it now. So that one looks like that. Is so pretty, isn't it? Definitely need to get more use out of these palettes, but what I might do is I might bring one newer palette in and one older palette so I can get use out of these spring summer palettes. Another one by Colourpop is the Coastal Coral. It's really nice for spring and summer, this one. I'd say this is more summer in my opinion, so I might leave this because we're going to do a summer video, so just forget about that one. And what else have we got here? Oh yeah, we've got another there's a theme, we've got a lot of Colourpop. So we've got Barbie X Colourpop, Malibu Barbie. I feel like this is for spring, yeah, but you can also do neutral looks as well, which is nice. But yeah, the pops are pink and then the pops are blue, definitely remind me of spring. I'm finding all the Colourpop ones first, but I'm sure just over the side there's more Colourpop, so we'll forget about that for now. Another one that really reminds me of spring is the Natasha Denona pastel palette. How stunning is it? And you can see mine is quite heavily used, so definitely want to use that soon. Then we've got the Cosmic brushes, or are they Cosmic Beauty now? I don't even know because I've not ordered from them. I feel like they're still Cosmic brushes, or that's what I'm going to call them anyway. Delicious Delight. Yeah, it's definitely, this could be spring and summer actually. So that's what that one looks like. I would say, let's look at it. It's more on the brighter side. Would it be more summer? Let's put it as to more of the summer side. I mean, you're going to see it, but we'll use that more in summer. I've got one to show you right at the end. I mean, it's just a neutral palette, but I'll show you that right at the end. I feel like this is spring, even though it came out Valentine's Day. It's the Beauty Bay Love Notes palette. Do not sleep on Beauty Bay palettes, guys, because they are phenomenal for the price. Everyone complained about this one. There's not enough depth in it. Like, for me, there is. There's this shade here. What's that one called? Glove. This purple. There's this shade here. That one's called Ruby. And I don't need an awful lot of depth, as long as there's some depth in it. It's got a lot of lilac rosy tones. I need to clean my palettes up, because can you see all the eyeshadow on the top there? That could be another factor with what's causing the mould. So before I put these back in my collection, I'm gonna like put some cleaning spray on them and just give them a bit of a clean up. If I can find my antibacterial, I'll do that. I've got a couple of Pat McGrath Labs ones, and you guys might not feel like, oh, spring, but I do. So we've got this one. This one is the Pat McGrath Labs Celestial Odyssey Luxe Quad. And I bought both of these. The reason I'm saying I bought both of them is because I did get a couple as gifts. No, that's the one. That's one of the ones I got as a gift, and that's more winter. I don't know why that's in there. This one though, I got this one, the Pat McGrath Labs Venus in Flares. I really like this one, I think for spring. Yeah, it's just like a neutral one. I've got another neutral one. I like it just to use when I don't want to go in full in pastels. Maybe you guys, when you look at it, you wouldn't necessarily think of spring. We have got the Pat McGrath Labs Blitz Astral Quad Ritualistic Rose. This one definitely, I think, of spring. I mean, it's got this shade here that I like to use in spring, this shade. These two I'm not too bothered about, but these two especially. And then I've got a self-made palette. I was going to show you this at the end, but I may as well show it you now. So it comes in this Anastasia magnetic palette, and I've made this all by myself with Colourpop singles. What else is in here? Oh, Glamshop singles as well. Some of them aren't like cut out for spring, so these two at the bottom I would say are more winter. I'll show you basically what's Glamshop and what's not. So I'll point at them. Glamshop, 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 Glamshop there. Glamshop, most of that came off. Glamshop, and then the two bottom ones are Glamshop. And then the rest of the palette is Colourpop. So it's like I said, some, I mean, where's that one come from? Yeah, that one's come from Colourpop as well. Some of them are more kind of spring, but some of them, like, I've got a mixture of everything, but that's what the palette looks like. I mean, I feel like that's a gorgeous palette. I want to use that again soon as well. This is what you get, guys, for having too many palettes in your collection. That's a neutral palette, which I'm going to talk to you at the end. Let me go and get the other palettes. Okay, let's start again. I've got a lot here. So I've got another Natasha Denona one. It's the mini pastel, I believe. Looks like that. Really pretty. I'd say everything in here is spring, apart from this blue here. So I want to use this more. Yeah, Natasha Denona mini pastel. Then I've got this Huda Beauty Neon Green palette. Really like this, but I've just not used it enough. It reminds me of spring. Just trying to get out of the frame so you can see it a bit better. Then I've got this Glam Light palette that my friend Naomi sent me. This, oh my gosh. So this was the second one, basically the first one. I don't know if Discount Beauty Boutique didn't send it out because it said that they only had one in stock, and it always said that they had one in stock. It just never got shipped out, and then I didn't get my money back from them. They kind of ripped me off. I've done a video on it. I'm going to try and find it. I got scammed by Discount Beauty Boutique, and I actually put a video up on my TikTok, and they only actually got in contact with me when people were like kind of sharing it with the company. But I'm not the only person that they've scammed. They've scammed quite a few people, and luckily my order wasn't humongous. It was just this palette, but this palette in itself is a lot of money. Anyway, it's the Glam Light Ice Cream Dream palette. Just checking all the shadows. So it looks like that. Very pretty. I think with this, you could use it for spring and summer again. These palettes are going to have to get used because I'm worried now that more palettes are going to have mould in them. My friend Lisa bought me this one from Clarity Cosmetics. It's so amazing. This is beautiful, guys. Look at that. Look how stunning it is. Let's do this. So freaking stunning. I don't think there's any shades in here that I don't like. What I would say is the mattes are very pale. They're like white based. Very white based. So you do need a white base underneath it to get them pigmented, is what I'm trying to say. Right, then we've got the BH Cosmetics Los Angeles palette. Definitely spring in my opinion. I feel like I've got to look at every palette before I show it to you, just in case for somehow I have missed things and there's growing mould in there. So I'm certainly not going to use any palettes with mould in. So that's that one. Then, oh, I think this is one of my favourite pastel palettes. So it's the Garden of Juvia's, and it looks like that. It is so freaking stunning. A lot of the shades are like duochromes in there. It's just so pretty. I absolutely love it. And again, I feel like you can use this for spring and summer. So don't be surprised if I do a summer one of these. Don't be surprised if I actually add some of these again in summer. We've got another Juvia's Place here. It's called the Deuce. I've had this ages. Yeah, that's... I'm binning it. It looks like something's coming on the eyeshadow there. But it's a nice palette. I wish I didn't have to bin it. The other one, the Violets. You could use this in winter because it's got some very dark purples, but what I was thinking is it's got some very light purples as well, being this one and this one. But is that more spring or summer? I feel like it's going to be more summer, so let's put that with the summer palettes. Juvia's Place, the Blushed Rose. Yeah, I feel like that's summer as well, but it looks like that. Like, to me, pastels are spring. Right, then we've got the Odin's Eye Alva 2. And this is, from memory, this has got a lot of pastels in it. Yeah, it does. Like, I mean, I'm not much keen on it, to be honest. I want to use it at least one more time. And if I don't like it, I'm going to declutter it. It does. It also has, like, your darker shades down here, which are ideal for winter. But the top, I would say the top 3 rows, that palette are ideal for spring. Then we've got the Morphe 9Z. Just say Zen. This, I would say yes for sure. And definitely those purple leaning shades. Well, that's a blue, so I don't know why I pointed to that. Definitely those purple leaning shades are more what I consider spring. Oh, this is another one that I've made up. So this one was a Colourpop Truly Madly Deeply. I can't even remember the colour story at this point of this. But look at those eyeshadows. Does that not just say, spring, 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 I want to use you, spring. So that's that. I think that was a dupe palette for something else, for one of the other palettes that they brought out. I don't know if it was Sailor Moon or something like that. Then I've got this. It's a dupe of the Huda Nude Light, but it's called Nude Cream. It's by Layer Beauty. Oh my gosh, it just looks the same as the palette. I had the Huda Nude Light before, gave it to my niece, said to my niece, look, if you don't want it anymore, please can I have it back? And I think she just threw it out. So yeah, you can tell it's untouched. It's a fairly new palette to my collection. When I say new, I mean it was probably bought around Black Friday time and I've not gotten around to using it yet. Only got a few more palettes to talk about now. I've got the Huda Beauty Rose Quartz. So that's what it looks like. We all know what it looks like by now. Very pretty. I mean, to some people, would that be more summer? Yeah. I think it would be more summer, so let's put that on the summer pile. Then I've not even used it yet. It's the Natasha Denona Retro Glam. I think this is more spring. Just with it having the mint greens in it. That's what it looks like. We all know what it looks like. Right, so it's got the mint greens, the peachy tones, what I would consider spring. But then it's got like darker shades of green, mossy greens in it. So for that, I would consider winter. So I'm going to put it in spring and I'll probably pull it out in winter as well. We need to do at least 5 looks with this palette. So that's what that looks like. So that's that. And then I think the last one is completely neutral, guys. But it is probably my favourite neutral palette. I think so. And I got this last year off my friend Naomi again. So it's a Natasha Denona I Need a Nude palette, which looks like that. We all know what it looks like at this point. But yeah, I'm going to leave these out and I'm going to give them a good clean. I'm hoping, you know, I'm not going to find any other mouldy palettes because it's just getting a joke at this point. The makeup is old, so obviously I don't mind getting rid of it, but I don't want to be removing stuff out of my collection constantly. Anyway, that's it guys. So I thought you might like to see something different from me today. I've not done a long form content video for a while. Not as long as this anyway. Expect one in the summertime, in autumn and winter. Don't really have winter palettes. I use autumn and winter together kind of thing. Yeah, so I don't really have any grey leaning palettes, what I would consider winter, or blue leaning palettes. Grey, I've only got two. I've got the P. Louise Going Solo and also the Xenon palette by Natasha Denona. So that's what I would consider kind of wintry, and maybe grungy palettes as well. I'd have to look at that nearer the time. But anyway guys, thank you so much for joining me today. If you're new here, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. I would massively appreciate it. Click the like and leave a comment down below. What's your favourite spring palette? I would really appreciate it. What was your favourite spring palette of mine that I showed? And I'll see you in the next one. Bye guys.